So now that you have understood how to come up with a quarter circle, which is 360 degree, to come up with a double circle, which is 720 degree, is very easy. Now you can see the fullness of the fourth quarter circle from the demonstration. Now to achieve a double circle, like for example, you want to make a peplum top and you really want it to be full, you want to do double circle, that is 720 degree. What you are going to do is simple. It's just like, you know, a quarter circle, you want to do twice of a quarter circle, which is 8 quarter. You know what we did is to divide our circumference by 6.28 to get our radius. That is for the quarter circle. But for 8 quarter, that is for 8 quarter circle, that is 720 degree. Now, is the number of quarters that determines the fullness. Now, you want to do 8 quarter. For you to do 8 quarter, once you have understood 4 quarter, you can do 8 quarter. It's just like repeating this twice. So the best approach to it is to divide. We are still working with the same circumference, with the same 74 cm circumference and length 58. We are still working with the same. So what you are going to do, you know, for the 4 quarter, we divided the circumference by 6.28. But now what you are going to do is to divide, see, what you are going to do is to divide 74 into 2. 74 into 2, that is your circumference. You are going to divide your circumference into 2. That is going to give you 37. So when you divide your circumference, you first of all, whatever your waist measurement is, if you are making a skirt or whatever skirt project is, if you want a fuller circle, just divide it by 2. When you divide it by 2, before you divide by 6.28, if your waist is 60 cm, half of 60 cm is 30. Instead of dividing 60 by 6.28 directly, divide it by 2 first before you now divide by 6.28. So what we are going to do here now is 74 divided into 2 first. Initially, we divided it directly by 6.28 to get our radius. But this time, divide it into 2 first. When you divide it into 2, you have 37 cm. So when you divide the circumference into 2, you are going to have 37. So that 37 is what you will now use to determine your radius. So for you to get your radius now, it will now be 37 divided by 6.28, which is going to give you 5.89. Now, you have got your radius by dividing 37, that is half of your circumference. Make sure you work with half of the circumference. You are not going to work with the full circumference. When you work with the full circumference, that is when you divide your full circumference by 6.28, that is a quarter circle. But when you divide the circumference into 2 first, you divide the circumference into 2 first before you find the radius. So when you divide 74 into 2, you have 37. You now find the radius by dividing by 6.28. So the radius here is 5.89. The other time we have around 11 cm approximately. But here you are having 5.89. You can use 5 cm. Let's just use 5 cm. You can use 5 cm as your radius. So if you want to bring out your circle now, since you have determined your radius, the radius is 5 cm. This is the radius, 5 cm. You will now add it to the length of the skirt, which is 58 cm. You now have 63. So 63 cm is what you are going to work with. You do exactly the same thing that we have done here. You know, you do exactly the same thing that you have done. As if you first of all work on a quarter. You do exactly the same thing. So this 63 cm is what you will use from your point O. 63 cm. 63 cm. 63 cm. You know, here the other time it was 68. We had 10 and 10 was our radius and 58 was our length. So the other time it was 58. But this time around, your radius is 5 plus the same length, which is 58. So you are going to work from here to here, 63. From here to here, 63 is what will be your M line for the circular skirt. So when you cut it out, you do exactly what we have done initially. So when you cut it out, it gives you the first quarter, the first 4 quarter. That will give you the first 4 quarter. When you cut it out on your material, you fold your fabric again and place the first one you have cut to bring out the second one. So you are going to have a 2 perfect circle. So the 2 perfect circle, you are going to slit, just as we open the other one. You are going to slit it and you will join the 2 at the side, then you will slit it again at the center. That is how you are going to achieve your 720 degree. I hope you understand that. You know, try it out. It's an easy thing to do. Just divide your circumference into 2 first. Don't use your circumference to find the radius directly. Divide it into 2. When you divide it into 2, before you use 6.28 to determine your radius, when you have done that, bring out the first quarter circle. Then you use the first quarter circle to you fold your fabric again the way you have done it initially and place the first circle on it. Do that before you remove your radius. You can remove the radius of the 2 circles at the same time, because if you remove the radius of the first circle, it may not be easy to cut out the second one. So leave the radius intact after the first circle. You will now place the first circle, you fold your material in place again and place the first one on it to bring out the second one. And make sure that your hemline is intact. Make sure that your radius is intact before you cut out your radius. When you now got the 2 perfect circles, you slit the first circle, you slit the second circle, and you join the 2 together at the side. Then you slit it again in the center. That is how you will achieve your 720 degree circle. Thank you. Now, this is the practical demonstration on how to bring out the double circle. That's 8 quarter. That's 720 degree. Now, when we added the radius to the length, that's the radius is 5 cm and the length is 58 cm. The total is 63. So the addition of my radius and the length is 63. So I take my length 63. I've shown you how to fold your fabric. So this is my 63 cm. So I'm connecting the 63 cm together. I'm connecting the 63 cm together. Now I want to take out my radius. My radius, don't forget that my radius is 5 cm. You know, I said that for you to, with this 5 cm radius, I connect my radius together. You will see that this radius here is lesser than the radius on the 4 quarter circle. This is half of it. So by the time I cut this out, it cannot go round. The circumference cannot give me 74. It's going to give me 37, which will be for only front. It won't go round. So let me, okay, when you cut this out, sorry, let me secure with my pins. So this is the quarter circle. Fold the fabric again the way you did initially to achieve the first quarter circle. Fold it to your length 63 again to the right length. This fabric is also a double, is by 60. When you are fold it, you place it on it. You place the first circle on it. You can see how I place it on it. You can see how I place it. Make sure that you fold your fabric excellently without any bulge. This is the first circle. This is the first quarter circle. This is the radius. You now cut out the two together, and that will represent the inner circle. You now cut the hemline of the outer edge of the outer circle. So that will give you the two circles. So now this is the first 4-quarter circle. You can see that is a perfect circle. You can see the circumference. So what we are going to do now is to slit each of the circles. So I slit it into two. No, sorry, I slit it rather. When I slit it open, you can see it, see the fullness. Because we divide the circumference by 2 before we find the radius, that's why it cannot go round. Even though it's a perfect circle, this is a 360-degree circle, and it's meant for the front alone. It cannot go round. You know, I use this perfect circle to cut another circle. So it's when I will split that one too and join the two together. That is when I'm going to have my 720 degree. You cannot compare the fullness of these two circles coming together with the first one we did, which is just a single circle that gives us the same circumference that go round. But this the circumference of this one is just for the front alone. So this one, I will add this is the second circle. This is the second circle, which I've split into two. The first two circles, you split it in and you join it at the side. Then you split it at the center back. That's what I have. So let me put the two together off before you can see we go round the whole circumference. So after putting my two circles together, that is 8-quarter circle. That gives me the 720 degree. This is the fullness I have. You can see that you cannot compare it with the first one. You can see the fullness. Thank you. Now, in this last demonstration, I said I will show you how to join your fabric stylishly when you are cutting out your circle if your material is not up to your required length. Now, this time I'm using Ankara. Ankara is by 45 thereabouts. The other fabric that I've used, the two other fabrics I've used for the early demonstrations are by 60. So I did not really need to add anything because they are up to the required length. But we work with 68 and we also work with 63. This Ankara is not up to. Though I have more yardage, this is 3 yards. 3 yards, but from my fold from one selvage end to the other, because it's not by 60, it's not up to the length that I need after adding my radius to my length. In the first demonstration, the radius was 10 plus 58, so we work with 68. So I want to take 68 from my center point. So if I take 68 from my center point, please make sure that your fabric is well folded. So this is 68. I folded to that length. This is my 68. Please, just what we have done from the other video. So this is my 68. It's just still the same that I've done in the other demonstration. This is my 68. I'm just trying to connect my line at the same time. This is my 68. This is my, you can see that, you know, as I'm moving towards the other end, you can see that the length of the fabric is decreasing. So that is why I have put a template. Look at it. I have put this paper as a template that will complement the remaining part of my measurement. So add this paper or anything that you can spare as a template to complement the remaining measurement. And if you are using Ankara or any other fabric that is lesser, you know, this selvage edge that has this inscription, we are going to cut it off. So I put my template a little underneath. I make sure that the paper is getting at least half beyond this, because we are going to cut this off. It's not going to be part of the measurement, because when you are joining it, it will show. So you are going to cut off all these parts. So let me continue with the measurement. You understand what I'm saying. So this is my 68. This is still my length. This is my, you can see this is my, I'm forming my hemline already. So now you can see that I'm now on the template. This is, I'm now on the template from this angle. So you can see, so from this angle now, from this is the extent to which my fabric can accommodate my hemline. So the remaining parts now that will complement from this end, you can see. So I will cut off the paper. When I cut off the paper from here, I will cut off the template. So this is what will complement this shaded portion. And if you look at the side where I will need it, is two pieces, you know, is 2 pieces, which is representing a this is representing like a quarter. This is also like a quarter. So if I cut out from here, you can see it. So this is just what I'm going to cut out. You can see. So this is what complements it. You can see this is what complements it. Make sure that your fabric is on fold, then you place it. From this part, it must be on fold. So you cut out the shape with seam allowance. Make sure that you put like 1/2 inch of seam allowance. You cut out this shape with seam allowance. You are cutting 2 of it. Make sure you cut it on fold. You need 2 pieces that you are going to join. Mark out your radius as well. I have not marked out the radius. So when you cut out your radius, you also cut out your hemline. You cut it down to this end, and the remaining the other 2 pieces that will complement here. Look at it. This is the 2 part. You may notch here and notch here. So one it will be for this side, one will be for the other side. So you will need 2 of these to complement it. So that's, by the time you join it stylishly, nobody will know that there is any joining here. And if you want to join it, before you slit, make sure that where you are slitting from, we make this joining to be at the side at both sides. Avoid it being at the front, at the center front or the center back. It's better you put it at the side. So that's on this video on circular skirt and handkerchief skirts. Please, if you have any question, put it in the comment section. I will be glad to respond. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. God bless you.